Cortisol is commonly known as the stress hormone, but it is so much more than that. It has several positive benefits when produced in balanced amounts. Morning wakefulness. Cortisol peaks in the early morning, acting as a natural alarm clock to promote wakefulness and kickstart your day. Energy mobilization. This hormone regulates blood sugar through gluconeogenesis, providing energy for both physical and mental tasks. Enhanced alertness and concentration. In moderate levels, cortisol sharpens focus, improves cognitive function, and heightens alertness, especially during demanding situations. When it comes to stress response, cortisol prepares the body for action by increasing heart rate and blood flow to muscles, while prioritizing essential functions, aiding quick responses to challenges. Anti-inflammatory effects. Cortisol helps control inflammation by modulating the immune system, preventing excessive immune responses that could damage tissues. And finally, memory support. Cortisol can enhance memory formation and consolidation, particularly in emotionally significant situations, aiding learning and recall. But chronic elevation of cortisol levels, disrupting health and well-being, while poor vagus nerve function may impair relaxation and recovery. So here are some practical, evidence-based methods to naturally lower cortisol and activate the vagus nerve throughout the day. These strategies focus on lifestyle, movement, mindfulness, and nutrition, culminating with the carnivore diet as a dietary approach. First up, breathwork. Breathwork is a powerful tool to calm the nervous system, lower cortisol, and stimulate the vagus nerve, which regulates heart rate and stress responses. Okay, so let's talk about nasal breathing. Breathe slowly through your nose, inhaling for about 4 seconds, then exhaling gently for 6 to 8 seconds. Doing this actually helps engage your parasympathetic nervous system. You can practice nasal breathing during stressful moments or just make it a daily habit to help reduce your cortisol levels. Next up is box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for another 4, exhale for 4, and then hold again for 4 seconds. You'll want to repeat this cycle for about 5 minutes whenever you need to manage acute stress. This technique, which is actually used by Navy SEALs, activates your vagus nerve and brings a sense of calmness. Now let's move on to diaphragmatic breathing. Here you'll focus on belly breathing for about 5 to 10 minutes each day, ideally in a quiet space. This kind of breathing stimulates your vagus nerve, which helps lower cortisol by promoting relaxation throughout your body. Why it works is actually pretty fascinating. Slow, controlled breathing increases vagal tone and reduces cortisol by up to 20%, according to research, by shifting the body from that fight-or-flight state to a more restful, digest and relax mode. Number 2, reduce blue light exposure. Artificial blue light from screens can disrupt our circadian rhythms and raise cortisol, while natural light actually supports vagus nerve function and helps with stress regulation. Blue light blocking glasses are a simple tool. Just wear amber-tinted glasses that block 90 to 100% of blue light about 2 to 3 hours before bed. This helps protect your melatonin production, which in turn helps lower nighttime cortisol. So, try to limit your device use, especially in the evening, and, enable night mode on your screens. This helps minimize blue light exposure, which can really reduce those unwanted cortisol spikes. Morning sunlight exposure. Get 10-20 minutes of natural sunlight within an hour of waking to align cortisol's morning peak and improve sleep, enhancing vagal tone. Sunlight boosts vitamin D3 production in the skin, which supports immune function and reduces inflammation, indirectly lowering cortisol. It also increases nitric oxide, NO production, which improves blood flow, relaxes blood vessels, and reduces stress-induced cortisol spikes. Aim for direct skin exposure, for example, face, arms, without sunscreen for short periods, depending on skin type and UV index. Here's why this works. Sunlight actually helps regulate your body's internal clock, while blocking blue light preserves melatonin. Both of these are super important for keeping your cortisol in balance and supporting your vagus nerve health. Movement and exercise. These are really key. Moderate physical activity reduces cortisol and stimulates the vagus nerve, which helps foster relaxation and resilience. Daily movement is important. Try to walk, practice yoga, or swim for about 20 to 30 minutes each day to boost your endorphins and lower cortisol levels. Try avoid intense workouts late in the day, since they temporarily raise your cortisol, or use a breathwork technique immediately afterwards to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system and reduce cortisol and aid recovery. Tai Chi or Qigong, these gentle practices combine movement and breathwork. Studies show they can reduce cortisol by up to 30% and enhance vagal tone. Pretty impressive, right? So, why does this actually work? Well, low-intensity exercise promotes parasympathetic activity, which means it directly stimulates the vagus nerve and helps reduce those stress hormones in your body. Next up, mindfulness and stress reduction. Mindfulness practices can really help shift your focus away from stress, which lowers cortisol and supports healthy vagus nerve function. Meditation is another great tool. Try practicing for about 10 to 15 minutes each day. Research actually shows that meditation can lower cortisol by as much as 20% and improve your vagal tone, which is pretty amazing. Gratitude journaling is actually pretty simple. Just write down 3 things you're grateful for every day. This practice can help reduce how much stress you feel, which indirectly lowers cortisol and supports emotional regulation through the vagus nerve. Spending time in green spaces like parks or forests can really help lower your cortisol levels by about 10 to 15%. This is supported by research on forest bathing, and it also helps calm your nervous system. So why does mindfulness work? Well, it activates the prefrontal cortex in your brain, which boosts vagus nerve signaling and helps decrease stress-driven cortisol release. So, let's talk about sleep optimization. Quality sleep is really essential for cortisol regulation and vagus nerve recovery since, cortisol naturally drops at night. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of consistent sleep in a dark, cool bedroom. And it's a good idea to use a sleep mask or blackout curtains to block light because light can disrupt melatonin and actually raise cortisol. Try to maintain a regular sleep schedule to help align cortisol's diurnal rhythm, which in turn supports your vagal tone. Restorative sleep, really enhances parasympathetic activity, which strengthens vagus nerve function and helps prevent cortisol dysregulation. Positive interactions and honestly a good laugh can reduce cortisol while boosting vagus nerve activity through emotional bonding. Spending time with friends or family, it helps foster oxytocin release, which counters cortisol and supports healthy vagal tone. Watching comedies or just engaging in lighthearted activities can really make a difference. Laughter, according to studies, can significantly lower cortisol levels. So why does this work? Well, social bonding and laughter actually stimulate the vagus nerve, which helps promote relaxation and reduces those stress hormones. Number 7, cold exposure. Briefly exposing yourself to cold can activate the vagus nerve, which in turn reduces cortisol and inflammation. So, try taking cold showers for about 30 to 60 seconds, or just splash some cold water on your face. This simple step can help stimulate your vagal tone and, really enhance your mood. And hey, it's totally fine to start gradually, just to make sure you're comfortable. Why does this actually work? Well, cold exposure triggers a parasympathetic response in your body, which means it helps lower cortisol levels and boosts vagus nerve activity, according to research. Alright, number 8, the carnivore diet. Eating a diet made up of muscle meats with associated fats, fish, eggs, and some select dairy can potentially lower inflammation and cortisol. Plus, it supports vagus nerve activity by stabilizing your energy and reducing dietary irritants. Reducing inflammation, well, it often starts with eliminating plant-based anti-nutrients like lectins and oxalates. This may, anecdotally, lower inflammatory markers such as C-reactive protein. Fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, along with grass-fed meats such as ribeye and pork belly, provide anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids which can help reduce cortisol over time. Vagus nerve stimulation is another interesting aspect. The diet's low-carb nature often induces ketosis, which may enhance vagal tone by increasing calming neurotransmitters like GABA. Plus, choline from eggs supports acetylcholine, which is a key vagus nerve neurotransmitter. Vagus nerve stimulation, once again, is influenced by the diet's low-carb nature, often leading to ketosis. This may enhance vagal tone by boosting calming neurotransmitters such as GABA, and choline from eggs helps support acetylcholine, an important neurotransmitter for the vagus nerve. So, when it comes to cortisol regulation, getting enough protein, somewhere between 1.2 to 2 grams per kilogram of body weight, and including healthy fats from muscle meats, can really help stabilize your blood sugar. This, in turn, helps prevent those unwanted cortisol spikes. Plus, the sodium and potassium found in meats are important for supporting adrenal health, which is key for keeping cortisol levels in check. Transitioning to the carnivore diet has varying results and is highly personalized. You should allow at least 12 weeks, and honestly, fat adaptation may take as long as 12 months depending on your individual health and background. Why it works: by removing potential dietary triggers and providing nutrient-dense animal foods, the carnivore diet is known to reduce inflammation, stabilize energy, and support vagus nerve signaling, which lowers cortisol. Anecdotal reports and small ketogenic studies suggest benefits, though individual responses really do vary. By combining these strategies, you can naturally lower cortisol, enhance vagus nerve function, and promote long-term health. Consistency and personalization are honestly the keys to success.